The Mountain ARCA Series returns to Richmond International Raceway for the third race of the season, the Target 200, around this 3/4 mile oval in Virginia. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. On the pole, we have Ryan Brommer. 2 is outside Ethan Lynn. In third, we have Alexander Cornish. 4th is Evan Hunter, and rounding out the top 5, it's Timothy Heath. Then Jose Fernandez in 6th. 7th is Cynthia Bright. 8th, Steve Morgan. 9th is Jonathan Buford, and rounding out the top 10, you got John Gambit. Then in 11th, you have Tim Randolph. 12th, Steve Larker. Then you got Alexander Rowe and Luke Rainey on the next row. Julius Harrison and Greg Lee, along with Isaac Nichols and Michael Canto. JJ Reed and Jason Larker, who won the last race. Cara Fries in second in points, and Jonathan Rains. Max Harrison and Laura Delano, your points leader. Derek Hamill and Jake West. Code Luigi and Oscar Isaac. DJ Reed and Cortez Newman. Danny Bright and Colton Young. And then rounding out the field in the last position is Trey Rainey. So that is your lineup here at Richmond, the Target 200. Let's now go down trackside for the most famous words in motorsports. We've seen wild races here in the past, and this one will be no different. Pace car in for 30 laps around Richmond, as Ryan Brommer will lead the field to the green flag with Ethan Lynn to his outside lane. We are racing here at Richmond. Through 3 and 4, Ryan Brommer went up the track at 1-2. Alexander Cornish takes the race lead off of turn number 4. He'll lead lap number 1. And Ethan Lynn went way up the track at 1-2, fell way back to 8th on lap 1. Is now back for the race lead. Ryan Brommer, 3 wide middle, because Timothy Heath goes to the bottom 3 wide. Great move there by Heath to try and take the race lead in 3 and 4. And he's going to do it. And there's almost a close battle back there between, I think that was the 45 Jonathan Buford and possibly the 52 of Tim Randolph. As now Timothy Heath goes up the track. Cynthia Bright will take advantage of the bottom lane. The Brights have been very successful here in the past. In fact, Jeff Bright has won here many times. Eli Bright has won here many times. But Cynthia, in the Target Series, I believe it was season number 2, got injured here at Richmond. So, she wants redemption from here in past. Ryan Brommer now back to the race lead. Tim Randolph slots into second. Alexander Rose up to third. And then for fourth, that's Julius Harrison, the number 3 cars. They're sliding up back there. The 68 very loose. That's Alexander Cornish, who went way up the track. Luckily didn't make any contact with anyone. We stay green. My, oh my, that could have been disastrous. Up front, Randolph now looks on Brommer again as they come off turn number 2. He has a good enough run to stay side by side with him down the backstretch. He has Alexander Rowe behind him. Now Randolph up the track, makes some contact with Brommer. Rowe will get right through by them as the front 2 beaten and banged, and Rowe goes right on by. Julius Anderson trying to take advantage of this. He might get up to third here, possibly even going for the race lead off turn number 2. Here comes Randolph now. Back to the race lead goes that 52 car. They're 3 wide back there. I believe that's your points there in the middle of it all. Lord, no, it was someone else. But they were squeezing. I believe it might have been the 2 of Luke Rainey. Maybe even the 45 Jonathan Buford. It's 4 cars pull away. Julius Harrison to second. Tim Randolph still in the race lead. Anderson looks for the race lead down the back straightaway. And they got Ryan Brommer just quietly in third. As these front 2 battle, he's going to get to second possibly. Alexander Rowe trying to get back up into this fight. As Brommer will take the race lead off turn number 2. Ethan Lynn, after starting outside pole, fell back to 8th on the first lap. He's looking for some speed here as he's coming up into this front 4 battle for the race lead. And it's just a big swap. Rowe just had it. Randolph's going to get right back. And Ethan Lynn, with all this swapping, is actually going to join this battle as he's up to 5th now, right on the back bumper of this pack. In fact, he's going to get by, I believe, to 4th and maybe even 3rd. So Ethan Lynn on the charge here, pushing Anderson by for second. Randolph got out to a pretty good lead, then overdrives 1 and 2, and Julius Anderson coming right back on the bottom lane. Anderson drives it down to 3 and 4, slides up, makes some contact with Randolph. And Ethan Lynn will go right on by to the race lead at the stripe. We've seen a lot of faux finishes here in the past. We've seen cars get high in 3 and 4, and then off turn 4, the guy in second place gets a big run. It's been side by side to the line many times here in the past. Do we see a race like that here today as Ethan Lynn is pulled away to a pretty gargantuous lead right now as they're bound 3 wide behind Rowe into the wall with Julius Harrison. They made contact for third. Jose Fernandez is going to take advantage of this. Push code Luigi 3 wide top. Luigi way up the track. Julius Harrison and Jose Fernandez almost make contact, and that allows John Gambit to get to the inside. He might be going for 5th here. Behind them, a big stack up of cars. Harrison gets it going. Doesn't look like he has too much damage to that number 3 car. It looks like it's still competitive. We look up to the race lead. Tim Randolph falls back to 4th. Alexander Rowe with a big run with Ryan Brommer on his back bumper. Rowe. Contact with Ethan Lynn now. They're beating a banging 3 wide for the race lead. Ryan Brommer's going to get it. 17 laps to go at Richmond. They're 3 wide for the race lead. Brommer takes it. Rowe drives in hard. Out. Ethan Lynn up the track. Tim Randolph back to 2nd. And with these guys start battling and sign up and stuff like that, Cynthia Bright is gaining. Julius Anderson, Jonathan Rains, Colton Yo, John Gambit, Michael Canto all trying to get up to the front. But are they going to have enough time to do that? 3 cars pull away. Ethan Lynn 4th, Cynthia Brighton 5th. For the race lead, Alexander Rose. They come to halfway this time. We will complete 15 laps this time by. 15 to go, and out front, all Alexander Rowe. Tim Randolph and Ryan Brommer chasing them down. And what's been a surprisingly clean race so far. We still got half a race left, but man, oh man. It's been surprisingly clean, but very competitive. Brommer slides up the track, and look at how Cynthia Bright's gaining on these front 3. Bright's up to 4th, gaining in that number 16 car with just 14 laps to go. She has time. Brommer up the track. Will surrender 2nd, possibly even 3rd, as Cynthia Bright gets a big run. Alexander Rowe to 2nd. Bright to 3rd. Bright looking for 2nd now. Man, look at the 16 car go. But can they run down Tim Randolph? He's gotten out to a pretty big lead for now. He goes up the track in 1 and 2. Cynthia Bright has a run. Here she comes down the back straightaway, looking to the inside, 3 and 4. She slides up. Doesn't give the 52 much room. 12 laps of racing to go. New race leader, Cynthia Bright out front. Julius Harrison will look to the bottom. That number 3 car looks pretty strong. Colton Yo has joined this battle. We have about 8 cars in this front pack. Julius Harrison clears. Around goes to 28 in front of the field. Rains is into the wall, and the caution will come out as they even wrecked behind. Looked like Steve Larker wrecked in 3 and 4 as they wrecked with the race leaders. Larker is junk. Jonathan Rains got some damage as he spun around. First, let's see what happened to Rains and Colton Yo, and we'll look and see what happened, how Steve Larker got his damage. Here they come off turn number 4. It was inevitable. They were racing way, way hard, and Colton Yo and Jonathan Rains just made contact. Danny Bright finishes Rains off as the 28 spins around. Alexander Rowe with some damage. And look as Rains tries to get to the line ahead of some of those drivers. Every position matters on a restart, especially when you have damage. And then back in the back, Steve Larker made some contact with what looks to be the 25 of Jason Larker. So the Larkers wrecked together right here, it looks like. It looks like just give and take just went wrong right there. Steve was coming up, Jason was coming down. There was just no room for those guys, and they both go hard into the wall. Steve Larker gets the most damage in that. Is that DJ Reed in the 06 that barely avoided? Look at these guys sliding sideways, getting by. But Steve Larker's car all torn up, and that's definitely going to relegate him to a possibly 33rd place finish. And while that was happening, Julius Harrison led them back to the line. They will stay out, and with under 10 laps to go, Anderson will be out front for a restart. The field paced off turn number 2 down the backstretch to take the green flag with just 6 laps of racing to go. Steve Larker, the only car to retire from that, so we still have 32 cars left running. Out front, Julius Anderson trying to hold on and win. 2nd, it's Cynthia Bright. 3rd is Tim Randolph. 4th, Ryan Brommer. 5th, Colton Yo. Then Alexander Rowe 6th. Danny Bright 7th. 8th, Ethan Lynn. 9th, Luke Rainey. 10th, Michael Canto. Who wins there, Richmond? Pace car in. Julius Harrison trying to hold off the field. Green flag is back in the air. We're back racing with 6 laps of racing to go in the Target 200. Harrison did get a pretty good start there, but does he overdrive? He does. Cynthia Bright will look to the bottom lane off of turn number 2. Everyone has time. 5 to go this time by. Tim Randolph. Cynthia Bright up the track. Randolph will get to the race lead with just 5 laps of racing to go. If the yellow comes out, the race is over. Ryan Brommer, your pole sitter, has been up front most of this race. Here he is to the bottom for the race lead as they slide up, making contact behind. Cynthia Bright, an aggressive move to the bottom lane. What a great move by Bright to get to the race lead as they bounce off each other for second. 4 to go. Here comes Alexander Rowe. He got a piece of that wreck last time. Now he's looking for the race lead off turn number 2. The wreck by Ethan Lindhorn to the outside wall. This will be the race. Alexander Rowe trying to get it down to 3 and 4. He's going to do it. And come to 3 to go. If Rowe can get around 3 laps under caution, he'll win it at Richmond. Ethan Lynn hits the wall hard. They wreck in 3 and 4. A car is upside down. There's multiple cars upside down. Steve Morgan is on his lid. As they wreck big time. The yellows come out. The race is over. But so much damage done to Ethan Lynn's car, to many other cars on the front straightaway. Alexander Rowe gets the line first. Let's see what happens to bring out the caution and the wreck afterwards. Once again, another car makes contact with Colton Yo and goes around. This time it's Ethan Lynn who overdrives the car up into Yo and spins himself out, and then Luke Rainey kind of finishes off. Nowhere for Rain to go. Lynn hits the wall hard. Steve Morgan gets some damage in that. Look at the 10 car right in the wall. Oh, Jose Fernandez. And then what happened ahead? They're 3 wide to the corner. Oh, Steve Morgan overdrove the corner, gets up into Trey Rainey, and they go into the wall hard. Morgan almost up and over. He, in fact, does go over. Steve Morgan then flips. Cars go by on the inside. Then DJ Reed spins. Jose Fernandez spins up into the 6. The 69 car upside down. Carter Friesen involved. Ethan Lynn, the 1 car. How'd John Gamba get upside down? Oh, he spun ahead. Oh, and here come other cars in, and they just nail and flip him over. And look at the cars wrecking in the grass, man. Oscar Isaac, Greg Lee, Carter Friesen, Jason Larker. The 15 involved. Just look at all this. Oh my gosh. Greg Lee, Alexander Cornish involved. Isaac Nichols in the 15. My oh my, what a mess. And it ends out good for Alexander Rose. He gets back to the line first. And he's going to win at Richmond as they're on the last lap of this race. On the backstretch out of the white flag. They will see the checkered flag this time. And Alexander Rose will take home a victory. As many cars right behind. We'll have about 28 cars finish this race. As they come through 3 and 4, Alexander Rowe will win the 3rd race of the Mountain Dew ARCA Series season number 2 at Richmond. The Target 202, Alexander Rowe. He wins it over Cynthia Bright, Danny Bright, Tim Randolph, and others. And that was a great race right there. Alexander Rowe gets it done when he needs to. Let's go and check the finishing results. Here are the finishing results from the Target 200 at Richmond. There were 2 caution flags for 8 laps and 17 lead changes among 8 different drivers. Alexander Rowe gets the victory as he led 6 laps en route to his victory. Cynthia Bright's up second, close again. Just couldn't get it done there. Tim Randolph third. Danny Bright fourth. He made a charge late. He started 32nd. And Julius Harrison leads the most laps, 7. He ends up 5th. Pole sitter Ryan Brommer ends up 6th. Decent day for him. Colton Yo in 7th. He made contact with a lot of cars in this race. I don't even think anywhere his fault. Luke Ray ends up 8th. Jonathan Rains 9th. And JJ Reed rounds out the top 10. So there's your top 20. You can see down here in the 12th position. That's the O2 of Laura Delano. Keeps the points lead with a decent day here at Richmond. Wasn't anything stellar, but keeps the points lead. As you look down at the rest of the field, 28 cars finished this race. Michael Canto, Carter Friesen, John Gammett, Steve Morgan, and Steve Larker all retired from this race due to crashes. And down here, Ethan Lynn up front most of this race, led 3 laps, involved in the caution that ended the race, and ends up in the 25th position with a damaged race car. Now let's go to the point standings. Here are the point standings after 3 races. And Laura Delano keeps the points lead by 18 points over J.J. Reed, who is now second. Julius Harrison is tied for third with Jonathan Rains. Then Alexander Rowe, with that win, moves up to fifth. Then you got Isaac Nichols in sixth. Danny Bright, with another decent day, ends up seventh. In eighth, you have Carter Friesen, so from second to eighth because of that horrible day there. Jason Larker, ninth, and Colton Yo rounds out the top 10. So there's your top 20. See, all 3 of your winners are in the top 10 in points, and you have to get up there because it's only points that matter. You have to be very, very consistent this season because there's no chase. It's just who's the best over 20 races. As you look down at the rest of the points, Felix, see just outside the top 20. Luke Rainey in the 2-car, Oscar Isaac in the 44, Jonathan Buford, Max Anderson, Steve Larker down here, Trey Rainey, Cortez Newman, Michael Canto, Evan Hunter, Jake West, John Gammett, DJ Reed. They need to pick up the pace if they want to get up there and contend for a championship. And the next race is the place to do it. It's going to be a wild one. The Orioles 200 at Rockingham. See you guys then.